Inkwell Isle has an incredible cast of characters ranging from sentient vegetables to animated dice and chess pieces. However, in all of the Isles, it seems that Cuphead, Mugman, and Elder Kettle are in the minority. In fact, aside from the undead Miss Chalice, they are the only dishware people that call Inkwell Isle home. Was this simply a coincidence, or did some tragedy happen here long ago? In this video, I'll be answering this very question and reveal Elder Kettle's hidden past. Our story begins with the meddlesome Cuphead and Mugman finding their way into the Devil's Casino. It wasn't long before the boys were in too deep and had wagered their souls in hopes of innumerable riches. Sadly, they fell right into the Devil's snare and lost everything. Oddly, when they returned home to share the bad news, the wise Elder Kettle was unfazed. He provided the duo with a special potion that granted Cuphead and Mugman with the ability to use the pea shooter, a powerful projectile that was activated by the snap of one's fingers. It's interesting to note that Elder Kettle already had this potion in his possession. It's almost as if he was familiar with the enemy and had done battle with them in the past. If we take a trip to the ruins of Rugged Ridge, we find a shocking discovery. This was the stage of a massive battle between two ancient forces, the Calyx enemy and some other unnamed faction that seemed to consist of mythological beasts and creatures that could harness the power of ink. We learned in our previous video, analyzing Miss Chalice's untimely demise, that the phrase Calyx enemy is Latin for living cups. This creed was proudly posted on the castle walls that had been breached during the war, and numerous statues of dishware warriors and heroes dotted the nearby area. Even the legendary Chalice stood amongst them. But there was one statue that seemed strangely familiar. The monument placed immediately before the castle walls had a striking resemblance to our old friend, the Elder Kettle. Now even I admit that it's not a perfect match, but this regal teapot may very well have been one of his ancestors. This ancient kettle may have passed down his knowledge of the enemy to Elder Kettle in his youth. However, there is one other possibility. Elder Kettle was present during the war. Although I typically try to stray away from sources that aren't present in-game, the Cuphead show reveals something about Elder Kettle's past that I simply couldn't ignore. Elder Kettle was a war veteran. In episode 11 titled Dirt Nap, Elder Kettle dons his old fatigues and employs a number of military techniques to defend himself against a non-existent threat. If we venture into Elder Kettle's humble abode, we can see a sword prominently displayed on the walls, a common practice used to honor prior achievements or relics of the past. Based on his knowledge of how to concoct the special pea shooter potion and the fact that he knew the debtors would transform into terrible beasts, all evidence seems to point towards the highly likely conclusion that Elder Kettle was the sole survivor of the war against the Calyx enemy. This would explain the sheer lack of dishware people that live in Inkwell Isle, and also the reason for his seclusion and overprotection of the naive boys he cares for. Not only that, but one last look at the interior of Elder Kettle's home reveals that he had something much more sinister in his possession. On the coffee table just paces away was a mystical inkwell with the abilities to conjure a new reality. This canvas would serve as Cuphead and Mugman's training ground to prepare for the battle ahead, while Elder Kettle focused on devising a new strategy to take down the devil once and for all. Now, do you believe Elder Kettle is an old pot of war, or simply a senile old kettle who happened to come across such valuable possessions? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, it's the Inhuman one, signing out.